declaration of 2011 to 2020 as the decade of action for road safety. The declaration, amongst others, calls on all member states to prepare a plan of action aimed at reducing road traffic fatalities by 50% through increasing activities conducted at the national, regional, and global levels.
The annual general meeting of the West African Road Safety Organization, which winds up on Saturday, is expected to drum up more support for the international campaign to drastically reduce the number of fatal accidents on the continent by 50%. Ibrahim Abalde, GRTS News.
Officials of the International Monetary Fund have been holding discussions with key Gambian government officials like the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs and personnel of the Central Bank of the Gambia. At the end of their two-week mission to the Gambia, the IMF officials held a media briefing attended by GRTS's Fatou Kamara Kebe, and this is her report.
Over the past few years, the Gambia has been hailed for a robust economic growth and its resilience against the prolonged global economic crisis. The Gambia's gross domestic product grew by over 6% a year during 2008 to 2010, driven mainly by agriculture, tourism, and remittances. This year, however, although tourism has begun to show signs of recovery from the effects of global slowdown, GDP growth is projected to slow down slightly to about over 5% with poor weather conditions in some areas of the country harming crop production. The 12-month inflation rate has dipped to about 4% in bonds and is projected to remain below 5% for 2011 as a whole. Mambo Njai, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, thanked the IMF for their hard work and commitment. The Gambia has, however, continued to face a number of challenges, notably a heavy debt burden in particular, large economic deficits in recent years leading to a surge in domestic debt, most of which consist of short-term T-bills that must be regularly refinanced, including obligations on external debt. Interest consumes 22.5% of government revenue. The government will also restrict external borrowing to concessional loans with soft terms. The Deputy Division Chief, African Department of the IMF, Mr. David Dunn, believes that by broadening the base, we can also bring down tax rates substantially. He applauded the Gambia government for progress in its fight against poverty.
The Gambia is making important progress in its fight against poverty, particularly in the areas of education and some health indicators. Progress on reducing income poverty is also anticipated from the inclusiveness of the strong growth in recent years in the agriculture sector. The government plans to build on this progress with the launching in the coming months of the Program for Accelerated Growth and Employment.
To address the high cost and risk of this debt, the government has taken bold actions to curb new domestic borrowing. Indeed, the mission commends the government for exercising strong fiscal discipline so far. The government aims at continuing making progress on easing its debt burden by gradually reducing new domestic borrowing to about 0.5% of GDP by 2014. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Kamara Kebe.
The management and its bearing on national development was the subject of the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations' recent policy dialogue. The program forms part of efforts geared towards ensuring the effective participation of NGOs in policy processes and decision-making. GRTS's Ajay Msise reports.
Unique resource, which is one of the most valuable assets in human existence, is referred to as what we want most, but what we use worst. Since the 60 minutes in an hour and the 24 hours in a day is what every human being has, irrespective of status, gender or origin, once it is lost, it is gone forever. This is why exercising conscious control over the amount of time spent on activities is deemed very important, putting into consideration the fact that it can increase efficiency or productivity. Well, if time management can serve as the basis for increased efficiency and productivity, correlating it with national development will surely advance the pace of that drive.
Certainly, at the national government level, if the people that are responsible, whether it is the top management or the staff, if people are complacent in the way they utilize their time, at the end of the day, they would not be able to achieve their goals.
Bad time management seems to be a peculiar trait of not only many people as a whole, because even though we have GMT decoded to Gambian man time, there's also CPT in America called people's time. Going to meetings, ceremonies, and workplaces late seems to be a deep-rooted culture which is believed to be the culprit of our retarded national development. The Tanga Policy Dialogues is aimed at bringing together policy and decision makers to discuss pertinent issues and see to the advancement of national development, centered this month's deliberations on time management in national development since it is so important.
And often that's what happens in offices, especially in, the public sector. We're not bothered. We just feel, we work to rule generally, and that's what he's saying, no working to rule. Working to rule means you follow the rubrics, the guidelines, the time frame. After that, pen down, file down, and off we go. And often, as I mentioned earlier, it's often those who close early are those who came in late.
With its importance unanimously agreed on, Dr. Sassindur seized the attention of the gathering, dilating on effective time management strategies.
Once you determine your time use, then you can analyze it, and this entails the following. 1, what activities take the most time? Are those the activities on which you should spend your time? Look at purpose and objective of your job. Number 3, who controls your time? Is it your supervisor or boss? Is it your subordinates? Is it the system? Is it the clients? Or is it yourself?
This forum, grasping the core of human existence, time, is said to be very crucial, coming at a time when the government of the Gambia has launched an ambitious program of reforming the civil service to speed up the pace of national development. Going by the Shakespearean adage, dost thou love life, then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. For GRTS News, I am Aja Amisise.
Well, you can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, time now to take our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the international news. We'll be right back.
Time to have fun with AfriCell.
Play your favorite song to your callers with the AfriCell Fun Ring service.
To activate the Fun Ring service on your AfriCell line, type FUN and send it by SMS to 139 and have a different fun ring anytime you want.
To set this song as your fun ring, type SET followed by 11261 and send it by SMS to 139.
The code for this song is 11961.
11017. 11161. 11171.
And don't forget, you can always use the Fun Ring search engine to find your favorite Fun Ring code by typing the name of the song or the performer and send it by SMS to 138.
Keep your callers entertained by playing your favorite music on your AfriCell line.
AfriCell Fun Ring.
Welcome back. The new CNN Freedom Project looks at the deaths in the desert. Deep in the Sinai Desert are the bodies of refugees who were hoping for a better life only to be found dead, some apparently at the hands of Egyptian bodyguards. We have details in the CNN report.
Operating as a one-man NGO, Al-Azazi searches the desert plains around El Arish 3 times a week. He says he frequently finds corpses there. He has made it his mission to try and make sure they get a dignified burial. Those that can be identified are buried in a Christian or Muslim cemetery, but the ones who remain nameless end up here, outside